We're talking about my physics notes today. So I have physics notes that I'm putting up on sale, and I have actually 4 books with me right now. So we have 2 books for Form 5, they're in blue, and then 2 other books for Form 4, these are in green. So it's like book 1 and book 2. And yeah, I do have a cover this time, as you can see. For example, this is the cover, and there's a place where you can write your name as well. And by the way, for AdMats notes, for those of you who are still interested in purchasing it, you can definitely do so. And I also added a cover to the AdMats notes, so when you purchase AdMats notes, you will get a cover as well. And we will do a flip through of the physics notes later in the video, but first I just wanted to explain how you can actually purchase these books, because I know that you guys will be asking about it in the comment section, so let me just answer it here first. So how you can purchase this book is you can go to my Instagram and send me a private message. My Instagram is @victoriactual. You can send me a private message saying that you want these books, and I'll send you my account number, so you can bank it in the money and get the proof and send the proof to me, and then send me your name, telephone number, and also address, and I will post it as soon as possible along with a tracking number so that you can track to know when the items will arrive. So now we'll do sort of a flip through, and I'll show you guys the content a little bit so that you know exactly what you will get when you purchase these books, as well as how to use these books. So yeah. Alright, so these are the books that I'm putting up on sale, and let's take a look at Form 4 because Form 5 is also similar to Form 4. Okay, so let's take a look at Form 4 first, and we'll go to book 1 first. So as you can see here, it says concise notes and example questions. So this is something that you will have to take note of before you proceed, and here I have put some symbols and what it means. So if I put 3 stars, it means that it's very important and you need to memorize it. If I put an M here, it means that it is a frequently asked question for objective question. M stands for MCQ. And then if I put S, it's for subjective question. And then note is something that I write. It's something that I explain in my own words so that you can understand the things better. And then before we proceed, we have a basic concept for physics here and 2 main types of graph. And then we have the table of contents along with the pages. And then essentially it will look like this. So how I organize these notes is I will put like 1.2 bolded here, and then I'll go on with the numbering, and when we get to 1.3, that would be a bolded one as well. As you can see, 1.5 here. Right, so we'll start with chapter 1, introduction to physics. And as you can see here, I put 3 stars for base quantities, meaning that you have to essentially memorize the entire thing because it is very important. Let's take a look at the next page. Okay, for example, here I kind of go over how you can avoid parallax error, as well as the bracket M here means that it is a commonly asked objective question. So you will have to take note of that. As you can see here, there are 3 stars and M, meaning that it is very important, you have to memorize it, and also it is commonly asked in objective. It is a famous objective question. And here I actually went over how to use the micrometer screw gauge. And as you can see here, I put a note here. So whenever I write the word note and along with explanation in the notes, you really have to take note of it and understand it, because a lot of the times I'm highlighting what people will usually make, what mistakes people will usually make in the exam. So if you take note of that, you can avoid that mistakes for yourself. So as we go on, there's some graphs. Chapter 2. How I structured this book is that I will go over the concept of it and then the formula. Okay, so this is some concept right here. As you can see, there's an S here. It's a commonly asked subjective question. And then I will go over the concept a little bit, and then a definition, the formula, and then right after the formula, I will have a practice question. Because if you have watched a lot of my videos, you would know that the way I study physics is I would spend only a little bit of time going over the concept and actually studying, but I spend a lot of time doing practice questions. So that is what I kept in mind when I was making this book. I wanted to make sure that you guys get enough practice questions. So every time after I put a formula in, there will immediately be a practice question to consolidate your memory, to make sure that you took note of the formula and you know how to apply it. So there's a question, and then we have the answer step by step to the final answer. And at times when I think that there is something important that you need to take note of, I will write the word note and my explanation will be there. So yeah. So every single time that there is a formula, I will make sure that a practice question follows very quickly. This is the way that we kind of strengthen our memory on the formula that we just learned. So as you can see here, we have the pressure law, and then we have the formula for pressure law, and then we have the graphs, and then here we have a question on pressure. So immediately after I present the formula, I have the question right here, and here are some notes that you need to take note of, some things that you need to take note of in order to avoid making mistakes in the exam hall. That's basically it for this book. I tried to make it as concise as possible, brief, but containing all the important points that you need to know for an exam. So yeah, so this is what you will get when you purchase these concise notes and example questions. And next, we'll take a look at this book, which is, it says here, complete list of formulas, list of definitions, MRSM trial paper 2 with answers and explanation. So let's take a look. So this book is essentially like a cheat sheet. So if you watched my videos, you would know what I mean by cheat sheet. It's like something that you can read when it's really near to an exam and you don't have enough time to go through everything. You need to go through what is most important, and that is what I tried to achieve with this book. I have the formulas here, definitions here, and this is just to go over a bit of paper 2 and how you can answer paper 2 well. But yeah, so we have the complete list of physics formula here, or the cheat sheet. So as you can see in chapter 2, 2.1, we have these formulas, right? And then there are some formulas that I put 3 star next to, which means that it is very important. And then as we move on, 2.5, we have these formulas, 2.6, we have these formulas, and so I don't just list down the formulas, I actually write what they stand for, because sometimes you know, like, okay, F equals to mv minus u over t, but you don't know what m stands for, and that becomes a problem. So as you can see here, I have the formula here, F equals to kma, and I write immediately F is force, k is a constant, m is mass, a is acceleration. And then similarly for these, I write down immediately F is force, m is mass. So you will know the formula and you will know what it stands for, and that is so important. And besides that, I also write down the unit, and as you can see here, unit for force is Newton or kg ms minus 2. So as I mentioned repeatedly in my books as well, units are so important when it comes to physics. You will lose so many marks if you don't write units, so I always write units after a certain formula. So next, we'll take a look at the list of definitions. Okay, so these are the list of definitions for chapter 1. And then for chapter 2, 2.1, we have these definitions, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, you get it. Alright, so for each chapter, you have the list of formula and definition all at the same place. And next, we have MRSM 2018 trial paper 2. I've included it here along with answers and also some things to take note of essentially when you're doing the question, so you can get some exposure to what the question will look like, what trials questions are like. And I just filled in every single thing, and I also wrote notes for things that you need to take note of. And this is the entire paper 2 with answers, including the essay questions as well. So we move on with the essay questions. Right, and then at the final page, we have the SPM physics format. So I included the physics format at the end of this book so that whenever you have a doubt or if you don't know the format, you can just refer to the end of this book. So in Form 4, in this book for Form 4, I have the MRSM Trial Paper 2 with answers and explanation, whereas in Form 5, I have MRSM Trial Paper 3 with answering technique. So when you get both together, you will get Paper 2 and Paper 3 together. So yeah, and I just wanted to mention that when I was doing the MRSM trial paper, I was referring to the formulas as well, and I just like flipped to the front and used the formulas here, and I found it to be really convenient for me because like you don't need to flip through a whole thick reference book for the formula. When you are doing practice questions, you just have it all here. So yeah. So these are my physics notes and I'm selling it as a set. So this is a set and this is another set. And if you purchase everything together, it will be much cheaper, and I'll leave the price in the comment section below. So if you're interested to purchase this, do contact me. So that's it for today's video. That was the flip through of my physics Form 4 and Form 5 books. I have 4 books in total, and if you're interested to purchase these books, just send me a DM on Instagram, or if you don't use Instagram, then you can email me. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.